The following is a special Wayne Hills Television sports presentation.
Welcome inside the different gymnasium here at Wayne Hills High School, where tonight the 9-11 Wayne Hills Patriots will play host to the 18-2 John F. Kennedy Knights. I'm Aaron Hook, joined alongside my broadcast partners, Jack Woodard and Isaiah Ahumada. And guys, Wayne Hills coming off a tough loss yesterday afternoon against Pope John, who came into that one at 3-16. Isaiah, you were there with Luke, me and Jack. We're not able to make it, but through the power of technology, I was able to watch a little bit of the game from yesterday on Wayne Hills TV. And Jack, to be completely honest, in that second quarter, just nothing really going right for Wayne Hills. They got outscored 21-6 by the Lions, and Pope John, who, like I mentioned, was a 3-win team coming into that one, knocking off Wayne Hills and ended their winning streak at 2 yesterday afternoon. What did you notice in that game, and just tell me what went wrong for Wayne Hills? It was just an atrocious and a confusing loss for the Patriots. This looks nothing like the team that we saw against Paramus Catholic. They just seem like a demoralized team that doesn't have any confidence. It doesn't seem like they really care that much anymore, which is weird to say, but I'm sure they do. But the players going into states, they're going to have to pick it up a little bit. And it's hard to find motivation in these games. As we mentioned, these games don't really mean anything except for padding your record. They don't mean anything for states. But Wayne Hill's just a demoralized team, low on confidence. They're going to have to get that back up. And this matchup certainly does not look like it features the Patriots, and they're going to have to fight early to even keep this one close.
And from that game, it just didn't really show out in the second quarter. As before second half, the Pope John was up 31-17, which is not a good look for the Patriots. Patriots only scoring 6 points and just too many turnovers. They gotta cut that down. That's just a huge problem for them. And they finally got it going in the second half, but it just wasn't enough to come back and win the game.
Well, guys, we'll move now into our key players as we've got a little over 14 minutes before it's tip-off here between Wayne Hills and Patterson Kennedy. So, Jack, I'll go to you first. Here's your key guy for the Patriots here in this one.
My key guy for tonight is John Conturzo, a guy who hasn't seen that much playing time lately, limited minutes, probably because of the ankle injury or some other reasons that we don't know about. And he's going to have a big task on his hands guarding Jalen Hargrove for Kennedy, who stands at about 6'4", 280. He's certainly a big man for Kennedy. And it seems like every single year we're saying, when is this kid going to graduate? Jalen Hargrove, just a 3 or 4 year starter for Kennedy. And he's a solid player. Conturzo's certainly going to have his hands full with him.
Yeah, well, you mentioned Hargrove underneath the big man, averaging 8 points and 8 rebounds a game, so certainly going to be a tough test for John Conturzo here tonight, but a good sign for him as in his first game back yesterday afternoon against Pope John, was second on the team with 10 points in that one. Played a pretty good game, Chad, so we'll look to carry that momentum into this one tonight. Like you mentioned, Isaiah, we'll go to you next. Who's your key guy for Wayne Hills here in tonight's matchup?
Well, usually for key players, look for guys that are going to do well offensively. So I'm going to pick someone who's going to do well defensively, because this team definitely needs a defensive player to step up tonight. And my guy's going to be James Adamo, who brought the Patriots back into the game with many steals in the third quarter and the fourth quarter. And, of course, got it going for the Patriots with so many turnovers that, they got them back in the game. James Adamo needs to step up, definitely against this Kennedy team that's so great and so well offensively. This whole team needs to step up, but James Adamo was that guy in the Pope John game. I hopefully he can do this here tonight.
Well, guys, my key guy is Ali Mansarogu, the sophomore forward, and we mentioned him all season long. One of our favorite guys here on the Wayne Hills TV broadcast crew. He's just a guy that does all the dirty work for Wayne Hills, similar to James Adamo. Mansarogu, he's not afraid to guard a guy in the post who's 4 or 5 inches taller than him. And, he's not afraid to go up and get a tough rebound either against those taller guys in the middle. Mansarogu, a great rebounder, and we've seen him pick it up from three-point range over the last couple of games. He's stepped outside and, he's found that confidence in that outside shot, which just adds another element to his game. So the sophomore is going to have another big game here tonight against Patterson Kennedy if Wayne Hills wants to come away with a stunning win. And now, as both teams are thoroughly into their warm-ups, with just under 12 minutes to go here before tip-off, we'll take a break, and we will be back for tip-off between Patterson Kennedy and Wayne Hills here at the different gymnasium.
This broadcast is brought to you in part by Positano Pizza, the finest Italian cuisine and pizzeria. Show us your Wayne Hills student ID to get 2 slices of pizza or a bowl of pasta plus a drink for only $5.
And we are back from the Gifford Gymnasium, moments away from tip-off between Patterson Kennedy and Wayne Hills. Quick look at the starting lineups for Patterson Kennedy. Jalen Hardgrove, the big man, we touched on him in the pregame, number 10. Out there with Mark Heber, number 3. Deshaun Harrison, the senior guard, number 0. Jaquan Bridge, number 12. Also Woodard, and Kyle Reedus, number 23 for Patterson Kennedy, will round out the starting lineup for the Knights. And on the other side for Wayne Hills, Carter Lewis, Brett Wood, and John Concerso, the 3 seniors. Andre Macarenas, number 12, the sophomore guard, and Philip Park, number 2, the junior, rounds out the starting 5 for the Patriots. So it'll be Hardgrove and Lewis in the middle to jump it. And guys, just really quickly to touch on again just how talented this Kennedy team is. 18-2.
16th in the state.
10-1 in the Bid North as Lewis wins the tip. 10-1 in the Bid North, 9-0 in the Bid North Liberty Division, and they beat the 12th ranked team in the state, another public school. It was West Morris Kennedy last night, 62-60 over West Morris. So previously 20-1 was West Morris, and here's Concerso on the foul for Wayne Hills. He gets him on the board.
Right off the bat, 2 things we haven't seen in recent games. The pop play to Lewis, they just stopped running that completely, and it was working so well. They ran it there against a very good team. Shot didn't fall. And another thing that we missed seeing, Concerso has been out of the lineup for the last couple games, and he's racked up so many rebounds this season. He did it right there.
Here's Reedus in the corner, harassed by the double of Wood and Park.
It'll be interesting to watch this Concerso versus Hargrave matchup all night.
Now here's Mark Heber at the top, the leading scorer for Patterson Kennedy, 15.5 a game. Kick to the corner, Reedus a 3, that's strong, and a rebound by Park. Guys, it'll be interesting to see what kind of energy Wayne Hills comes out with, as here's Wood on an open 3, that's no good. 5 for the rebound, and it's controlled by Hardgrove, who watched it up the court. The big man trying to go coast to coast, and he lost it off his foot. But now, after the turnover, real quick, interesting to see what kind of energy Wayne Hills will come out with here tonight. A crushing loss like we touched on in the pregame last night, or yesterday afternoon, rather, to Pope John. Wayne Hills now at 9-11, 7-7 in the Bid North. So Patriots looking for a bounce-back win here.
And in the Passaic County tournament, we told you we'd keep you updated. Kennedy just beat Passaic Valley 86-37, and Passaic Valley was the team that knocked us out. Kennedy beating them by almost 50 points.
This is such a much better start than the Pope John game. Because defensively, they were doing much better. Definitely against this hard Kennedy team.
Macarenas off glass, no good, and Harrison with the rebound. Here's Bridge on the far side. Jaquan Bridge, number 12. And now he gets it back into the hands of Harrison, who is certainly another impressive senior for Kennedy. Now with the Bridge going behind the back. Pull-up jumper, no good. And another fight for the rebound. They get a foul on Hardgrove down low, and Wayne Hills will have it coming the other way. But again, just a note on Harrison. The senior averaging 12.5 points, 6 assists, and 2.5 steals. So certainly impressive numbers from Deshaun Harrison of Kennedy.
I think for any chance for Wayne Hills to be in this game, they need to control the tempo of the offense and slow it down greatly. Kennedy's a very good offensive team. They put up 96 points against a very good Passaic team. They beat them by 44 in that game. And Wayne Hills needs to slow the game down and give Kennedy less opportunities, and Wayne Hills needs to capitalize on pretty much every opportunity they get, which they haven't really done so far.
Hardgrove spin move off glass. That's a tough move to stop. The sheer size in the middle of Hardgrove, and he gets Patterson Kennedy on the board. They tie it up at 2. Knotted up at 2. 5:45 to go here in the first. Pick and roll at the top. Here's Park taking the win for Macarenas. And now Park up top, controlling against Harrison.
This team has to be more aware when they're dribbling the ball because this Kennedy team has many steals and they can just pick the ball at any time.
Wood for 3. That shot no good. And Harrison with yet another rebound for Kennedy. And quickly he comes the other way. Kick to the corner. Here's Heber on a 3. That's strong. Reedus able to tip it back up top. And Bridge now with an underneath. Pass was deflected a couple times. Now off a couple of loose balls and a couple of passes. Heber's 3, no good, in and out. And Park will take it across the timeline now for Wayne Hills. So good start defensively by the Patriots.
Surprisingly slow start for the Knights. They haven't really hit anything.
Park with a kick to the wing for Wood. Now Lewis on the opposite wing. He's got Heber on him. Kicked up top, Park with the right hand, and got to give Kennedy credit as well, Jack. They're playing a good defensive game here to start as well.
Really not much off-ball movement for the Patriots, and this offense is just going to have a tough time against a very talented Kennedy defense.
And now the pass from Macarenas to Lewis. Lewis wasn't looking. Here comes Heber the other way with the right hand off glass, and Mark Heber Jets, Patterson, Kennedy, their first lead of the night, 4-2 Knights with 4:25 to go here in the opening quarter.
And those are the type of mistakes that you cannot make in games like this. You have to eliminate all plays like that.
Yeah, the Patriots were good up until that point, and that was a problem with the last game. That too many turnovers, which caused the big lead from Pope John.
Park, handoff to the corner for Lewis. He tries a tough three. That's short. And Harder with another rebound. Now leaking out in transition is Bridge. Oh, nice move to get around Park there on the finish, and he gets his own offensive rebound against a couple of Patriots. And there you go, Jack calling it.
They called he stepped out of bounds, but he pushed off as well.
So Bridge out of bounds. Turnover for Kennedy. James Adamo into the game for the Patriots, and Andre Macarenas, who led Wayne Hills yesterday afternoon with 11 points against Pope John, takes a seat.
A bit concerning for Wayne Hills. They've held Kennedy only 4 points in halfway through the first quarter, but they haven't scored. When you hold a team this good to that little points, you need to capitalize on your opportunities and score.
Well, we've seen these long scoring droughts all season from Wayne Hills, as Lewis able to save it from backcourt violation. But, we've seen these long scoring droughts from Wayne Hills. Only had 6 points in that second quarter yesterday. And Jack, we've talked about it a lot. Stinterso walks, but, we've seen Wayne Hills go, 5 or 6 minutes with no baskets, no points at all.
And we've seen that against teams that are nowhere near the level of play that Kennedy plays at. Just a whole new animal here tonight for Wayne Hills. They haven't played a team like this.
Yeah, this Kennedy team is very great. Having almost 8 seniors, that's way more than the Patriots.
Bridge now with the right hand, push shot in the lane, and Kennedy goes up 6-2 with 3:03 to go here in the first. Wayne Hills looking for something offensively, looking for a spark from someone. This is Stinterso from the foul line. Tit to the win Park. Step back, and that's a tough shot, and he gets it to go over Harrison. Park with a step back three, the first three of the night for Wayne Hills, and they cut the lead to 1, 6-5. Kennedy with 2:44 to go.
And Park has seemingly overcome his shooting issues that he had in that stretch throughout most of the season. Oh my goodness, what a deep three.
Heber, like you said, on a deep three, near 30 feet. It's strong off the back of the rim, and now a foul on Kennedy. Or again, no did it out of bounds. My apologies. So Wayne Hills, yet another turnover forced by the Patriots, and they'll have it coming the other way.
And that would have been a deep shot, even if this was the NBA. That was almost from the logo.
Yeah, that was Curry range, Trae Young range even, from about 30 feet. Heber pulled up, and now Wayne Hills has it on the other end. Up top, Adamo against Reedus. Now to Wood on the wing. Lewis going hard to the basket off the pass from Wood. His shot is short, and Hardgrove has the rebound for Kennedy.
We keep harping on. You got to hit those in games like this.
Quickly the other way. Heber's shot rolls off
Great
the
rebound
rim. It
from
was
James
short.
Adamo.
Yeah, and Adamo, like you mentioned, Stein up there to get the rebound. And now the other way, the sophomore will try a three. That's to Sean. Tinterso the rebound. One dribble, flips it up. That shot short. Lewis fighting for the rebound. His shot off glass goes, and Wayne Hills has the lead again, up by 1, 7-6 Patriots.
And the Patriots doing well with rebounds. Also a struggle that's been in the season. But, of course, John Conturso and Carlos in the paint, with their height matches, it's just very easy for them to pick the ball up in the air.
Here's Harrison. Uncharacteristic from Patterson Kennedy as we near a minute and a half to go in the first. Only 6 points for the Knights.
Hargrove wants it down low. They haven't really given it to him.
Heber from the corner. That's too strong.
Oh, dear.
Hardgrove had the rebound, but it was knocked away, and Park controls now for Wayne Hills.
And that's 2 horrible shots from Heber. He's their best player, arguably. Pulled up from near the logo and then airball the 3 from the corner.
Maybe this Kennedy team is underestimating this Patriots squad after that loss to Pope John.
Lewis for 3. Fight for the rebound. Wood and Conturso going up against Heber, and Wood able to track it down in the corner. Now Park in the middle. Tough shot with the right hand. A floater, no good. And
Wayne Hills is dominating the rebounds.
He had his own offensive rebound, and they'll get a last touch on Patterson Kennedy, and it will remain Wayne Hills basketball.
And underestimating is something you never want to do. We've seen the Patriots underestimate their opponents, especially Passaic Valley in that one game. Kennedy has all the reason to. Wayne Hills has just been so cold lately, just not the team that we saw earlier in the year. And just a demoralized team, as we mentioned. But it takes a game like this to turn it around. They have the lead with less than a minute to go in the first quarter. Certainly not how any of us would have predicted this game to start. And if you hang in there for one quarter, you have the confidence in your huddle on the sideline. Hey, we're still in this game. They play basketball just like we are.
Number 15, Jesus Romero, and number 1, Braquan Moore in for Patterson Kennedy. Ali Mansarodo in for Wayne Hills. And you mentioned Wayne Hills, being cold of late. Well, they had won 2 in a row. The senior night game the thriller against Lakeland, as here's Mansarodu, shot no good, rebound Harrison. And here comes Kennedy the other way, now with Heber. Pull up, mid-range jumper, that's good. And Kennedy regains the lead, 8-7 Knights, under 30 seconds to go. But Jath, they had won that Thursday night thriller last week, the senior night game against Lakeland, and then on Saturday afternoon they had beat West Milford. So the Patriots were winners of 2 in a row coming into that Pope John game, and then a bad loss yesterday afternoon, like we keep mentioning. Here's Harrison now with the right hand. He flips it up, no good. Rebound Romero, and he puts it back in. And Kennedy up 3 now with 5 seconds. And now a foul on Harrison. He was trying to knock the inbound pass away from Adamo. So with 5.9, Wayne Hills will inbound on the baseline. They're down 3. Quickly to Lewis. Lewis, stop and pop, mid-range pull-up jumper, that's good. Lewis knocks it down, and as the buzzer sounds, Wayne Hills, good first quarter against one of the top teams in North Jersey. 10-9, Patterson-Kennedy after a quarter.
Exactly the way the first quarter needed to go for the Patriots. They need the confidence from that one. You're still in this game. You got to think, these kids are just high school basketball players like us. You can't overestimate them or underestimate them, excuse me. And certainly the Patriots, this is exactly what they needed. You can't just think that this team is just going to come into your house and beat you bad, as we kind of all thought would happen. But the Patriots are showing life here. The first time we've seen life from them in the past couple of games, and this is exactly what they needed. And we're kind of just waiting for Kennedy to just go on a little run and just capture the momentum in this game. But they only had 10 points in that first quarter. Certainly very uncharacteristic of them. And the Patriots are going to hang in there.
And just, the Kennedy is very surprised here tonight. Definitely, they've scored 2 games with over 90 points, which is insane for this Kennedy team. And the Patriots squad is definitely showing out tonight. Play more aggressive, hustling more. And I really like to see this Patriots squad keep doing what they're doing right now if they want to keep stay competitive in this game.
The senior Jamali Carnegie in for Patterson-Kennedy. As here's Romero on the baseline, up top Heber for 3, and that's good. Mark Heber, here he comes. We mentioned the leading scorer at 15.5 for Patterson-Kennedy. Hits a 3 there, and it's 13-9. Knights.
He may have missed a couple, but you can't leave him open like that.
Well, Carnegie, who just checked in, the senior, as Lewis underneath flips it up off glass. No good, but a foul. Carnegie just checking in, kind of like the Swiss Army knife for this Kennedy team. 5 points a game, 6 rebounds, 2.5 assists, almost 2 blocks, and 2.3 steals. So he's going to be a guy who does it all for Patterson-Kennedy, and he's going to be a guy that Wayne Hills is going to have their hands full with. As Lewis's first is no good, strong off the back of the rim. Tinterso comes back in for Wayne Hills, and Brett Wood will take the seat for the first time.
And when you're given a free opportunity, you have to take advantage of it. You can't miss free throws like that. You can't have sloppy turnovers. If you have a chance to rebound, you got to get it. And he misses both. That's not what they needed, but there's the rebound and then another turnover, guys.
That's a problem. They gotta cut that, especially against this Kennedy team.
Harrison open in the corner for 3, no good. Rebound knocked around. Carnegie got a hand on it, but it'll be last touch on Kennedy, and Wayne Hills will come the other way with it again.
I'm just going to say, Conturso checking back into the game. He took over in the third quarter with 8 points, I believe, and that's definitely what they needed. He needs to get more minutes, and it looks like Karch is finally going to give him that chance.
When he's in the game, Wayne Hills seems to be controlling the offensive rebounds and defensive rebounds. When he's out, it seems they struggle a lot. And
bad pass. Conturso couldn't handle it. Now Harrison racing down the other end and finishing ahead of Mansarodu and Kennedy with a 6-point lead now, 15-9 Knights with 6:50 to go here in the first half. Here's Park, and he answers with a 3, and Philip Park is hot to start the game for Wayne Hills. That's a great sign.
We were wondering where this Phil Park was all year. Great to see that he's finally coming into his own, checking off the nerves from earlier in the year, and he's still got another year left. He's going to be a great player for this Patriots team.
Carnegie against Park now, making his way to the middle against Tinterso. Kick out Harrison. Bounce pass to the middle for more off glass. His shot no good. Tinterso with the rebound.
Kind of just chucked that one in there. That's why it did not go
line
in.
Drive shot.
Yeah.
And as for Park, he just looks more confident when he's shooting. Man, a nice move there to get himself open, and it's just the confidence you can see in his stroke. It's returned for Philip Park, and that's a great sign for Wayne Hills as they try to win as many games as they possibly can going into states here in the regular season. Park up top, Carnegie against him. Now Mansarodu on the wing. Under sits the play here in the first half. Here's Lewis down low. Pound dribble, flipping it up with the right hand, but he walked before. And it'll be a turnover on Wayne Hills. Lewis taking too many steps, and it'll come the other way with Patterson-Kennedy controlling.
I thought he kept his pivot on that one.
Well, the Patriots almost slipped up many times there. They got to keep it calm. keep a hand on the dribble.
15-12, Kennedy, a 3-point lead for the Knights as Harrison nearly loses it. Here's Romero in the corner. He works up top near the scores table. Now tip to the corner. Here's Heber for 3. No good. And Carnegie had the rebound. It's knocked away now to Moore. And Harrison going to reset up top, but he finds a wide open Heber, and what a finish. Off glass, reversed by Mark Heber. Nice find by Harrison, and Kennedy backed up by 5, 17-12 Knights.
Can't give teams like Kennedy second chance opportunities like that.
5:13 to go in the first half. Here's Tinturso working against Moore. Tough shot.
He got
And
fouled.
Moore got a hand on it. No call, but Lewis underneath working underneath the bucket and flipping it up and in with the right hand. And Wayne Hills cuts it back to 3, 17-14 Kennedy.
And we've only seen 3 fouls this whole game, so a clean game so far from both teams.
Heber kick to the wing, Romero. Trying to drive baseline against Lewis, and they would get a foul.
Right as I say that.
Well, you spoke too soon, Jack.
Foul on Lewis. As here comes Wood and Macarena's back in for Wayne Hills. Park and Lewis taking a seat.
And I know it's difficult to keep the lineup on the floor, but when Conturso, Lewis, and Wood are all on the floor at the same time, this Patriots team is just a better team all around, but players need breaks every now and then.
Another foul on Wayne Hills. Number 5, Reynaldo Santos has checked in the bid fella for Kennedy. Getting his first action here tonight, and another foul. Like I mentioned, on Wayne Hills, it'll be inbounded now on the baseline. Carnegie for Patterson Kennedy. Up 3, 4:48 to go here in the first half. Romero loses control of it, but it fortunately kicks right to Harrison. His 3, no good. Santos fighting for the rebound, and Macarenas has it now for Wayne Hills. And his teammates trying to let him know that he had a couple guys coming from behind him. And now Tinturso able to get a hand on the shot by Harrison.
Slow it down. They need to slow this one down.
Back and forth, the pace for Wayne Hills and Kennedy. And a turnover for both sides there. And here comes Wayne Hills now with a chance to cut it to 1. Kick up top. Wood for 3 in the tie. He gets it to go. And we're tied with nearly halfway to go here in the first half. Wood, the 3 from the top of the D, ties it up at 17, 4:07 to go.
Guys, I'm stunned right now. Wayne Hills is hanging in there with the big dogs.
Heber off the foot of Macarenas out of bounds. Lewis and Park come right back in for Wayne Hills. Mansaroto and Macarenas take the seat.
They're probably embarrassed from that last game. They're just going to try and show here that there's nothing to get pushed around about. You know, this Patriots squad is good. They've kept it close against Paramus Catholic, and you know it's that they got to get together, and that's what they're doing tonight.
Heber a corner 3. That's strong. Rebound Carnegie. Pound dribble in the middle. Kick out. Wayne 3. Here's Romero. His shot short. Another offensive rebound. This time it's Heber. Tough shot, no good. Santos an offensive rebound, and Kennedy. That's where the size is going to come into play. 3 or 4 offensive rebounds in that possession for Patterson Kennedy, and Santos will go to the line for 2 shots.
Wayne Hills will not win this game unless they rebound. When Kennedy hits, they can put up 90 points a game. And, I mean, when they're missing like this, you have to grab the rebound and just take advantage of it and score on the other end, build up another lead, because this team is not going to be cold all game. They're going to get hot eventually, and you have to survive that wave. And right now, Wayne Hills needs to build up a lead if they can and just get the rebounds.
And Kennedy's struggling a bit here from shooting. And if Patriots can take advantage right now, that'll be perfect for them.
Wood had
that was
the
a lazy
rebound
rebound
on the free throw, but Carnegie knocked it away. And now you can see a little bit of frustration setting in on Wayne Hills' side. Carnegie able to get it now to the corner for Heber.
Oh, my goodness.
And he made Lewis fall on the crossover, and then he hits the 3.
That's going to be on his highlight reel.
I don't know if Lewis stepped on his shoe or if he legitimately fell, but like you said, a highlight play in the corner by Heber. Now Kennedy the other way off a turnover. Heber's fouled going up, and Mark Heber igniting the crowd and the Kennedy bench. And here is the momentum swing that maybe Wayne Hills doesn't want, guys. Heber at the line trying to put Kennedy up by 6 here with 3:15 to go in the second quarter.
That one might be the swing in this game that puts Kennedy over the edge. When you have a play like that, just sending the opposing player absolutely spiraling to the ground.
Well, speaking of embarrassing, that was it right there. But just got to brush it off and keep going because he's had a pretty good game so far.
Heber knocks down the first.
It's really nothing to worry about. Just keep going.
And Wayne Hill's only down 5. If you told us that they would have been down 5 with 3 minutes to go in the second, we would have taken that, guys. So just disappointing that last couple points there from Kennedy. But they're only down 5. If you can keep this in single digits going into halftime, you have a chance in the second half. And a loss isn't the worst thing here. If you can keep this game competitive, that's better than a lot of teams do. Passaic lost by 40 to them. Passaic Valley lost by near 50 points. I mean, they beat up on very good teams and pretty much embarrassed those teams. So if Wayne Hills can keep this one close, all credit to the Patriots.
Yeah, well, Wayne Hills will have that Passaic team on the 22nd. So, again, a lot of opponents that Kennedy has really beat up on. Wayne Hills has, either lost to or just hasn't looked, all that impressive against. But here tonight, like we've said, they're hanging in this one. I mean, 3:15 to go in the first half against an 18-2 team. Only down 5, 22-17 Knights.
And Wayne Hills hasn't really faced many teams like Kennedy. Kennedy in Group 4, not Group 3. Patriots, I'd say the levels closest that we've seen them play. They got beat pretty bad by Fairlawn, beat pretty bad by Hackensack. But then they had Ramapo, Paramus Catholic, and Garfield. 3 teams near the level that Kennedy is at. And they played close in all those games. So Wayne Hills plays up to their competition, certainly. And it seems they also play down to the competition as well.
Park, another 3. And another big one from Philip Park. He's on fire from behind the arc here tonight. It's back to a 3-point game. 2:52 to go. 23-20. Patterson Kennedy.
If we could just find a consistent Patriots team that always plays this way, they certainly would be in good shape throughout this whole season. But it hasn't been that way, and hopefully they can start a run now.
Carnegie pull-up jumper, but look at Heber dead up and tap it in with the left hand. Back to 5, and Heber using the Hobbs there to put it back up and in, and it's 25-20. Kennedy with 2.5 minutes to go in the first half. Adamo for 3. That was a big one. They needed that. Fight for the rebound. Adamo able to somehow grab it. Tinturso and Carnegie down on the floor. It's a jump ball. And the possession arrow will point, it looks like, to Wayne Hills.
And Hargrove coming back in the game. We haven't seen him in a while.
Yeah, here comes Hargrove back in, along with Reedus. And Bridge. So 3 starters checking back in for Patterson Kennedy. Park to inbound now on the baseline. Wood slips free in the corner for 3. His shot is good. Wayne Hills. This is what we expected all season, guys. Wayne Hills flamethrowers from behind the arc here in this one, and it's back to 2. Heber tries to answer. His shot no good. Adamo skies for the rebound, and he's fouled.
And from a game where the Patriots only scored 1 3, they definitely stepped it up tonight.
Let's just take it 1 point at a time, guys. That's what you got to do. You got to climb the mountain slowly. You can't climb it all at once.
2:07 to go. Wayne Hills only down by 2. 25-23. Kennedy. Here's Wood. Good job by Kennedy to close out, but here's Adamo off the flip from Macarenas right back to Andre, and now right back to Adamo in the corner. And it worked up top now against Harrison. Now it's Park just beyond the half-court line at the Wayne Hills W logo. Crossover right to left. Here's Macarenas now on the wing, and Wayne Hills with 1:40 trying to burn some time off the clock. Give Patterson Kennedy minimal time to come back and score, but Macarenas walks, and Coach Starch is upset with his sophomore guard.
Kennedy, a very calm team. You saw them in warm-ups. They weren't really jumping around and yelling all over the place. And their bench, just look at them. The coach is sitting down. The players just not even talking to one another. Just a very calm team. And maybe that calmness, and that was a double dribble. I don't know how that one did not get called. But I think that calmness and the serenity from the Knights is what makes them this good.
Another turnover from Wayne Hills. Harrison jumping the pass in transition there. They want Hargrove to take a 3, or Hargrove, excuse me. His shot was short, but getting up for the rebound was Reedus, and he's fouled.
Like we said, the Patriots have to cut the turnovers, but this is a great Kennedy team that just gets many steals per game.
To inbound, it's that's Harrison, the senior, and right to Heber, who flips it up with the right hand, and Kennedy backed up by 4, 27-23.
Kennedy would be in a very rough place right now if it wasn't for Heber.
Yeah, the leading scorer carrying them again here tonight. Nice pass. Wood to Tinturso, and he pulls it back down, and now he throws it away. Again, the miscommunication on Wayne Hills, another turnover, and it'll come the other way. 56.5, 27-23, Patterson Kennedy.
I think sometimes when Tinturso gets the ball in the post, he rushes and gets a little flustered. I think he's got to calm it down a little bit. He has time. He's a great player, and he knows what he can do.
Heber off the inbound. Doubled by Park and Wood out of the corner, out of that 2-3 zone. Now here's Bridge on the opposite wing. To the middle. Bounce pass. Hargrove inside and finished off by Reedus. And Kennedy extends the lead back to 6 with 35 seconds to go in the first half.
That's tough to stop. You got to double Hargrove. He's too big not to, and then you get a player wide open.
Park again. And he hits again! His 4th 3 in the first half. and it's cut to 3 once again, 29-26. And Philip Park just tapped Wayne Hills in this one, guys.
It looks like PV Park is in this game.
And Park comes out against the big opponents in the big games.
So Wayne Hills cut it to 3, 29-26, under 10 to go. Wayne Hills bench 10 into it. They need a stop here. Harrison, 3 seconds, spins into the lane and finishes. What a move. And a demoralizing finish to the half as Harrison just spinning right through the Wayne Hills defense and storing off glass. 31-26, Kennedy up by 5 after a half, but Wayne Hills coming out and shooting very well from behind the arc. They've kept themselves in this game with those 3-pointers.
Great half from the Patriots. I mean, it couldn't have gone any better. You're only down 5 against a great Kennedy team. Hopefully they can hang in there in the second half, and let's hope for an exciting game in this one.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's surprising this Patriots squad up tonight, expecting something much different, but they kept it close the whole game, and wow. If they keep playing like this, I see an upset.
Let's not get ahead of ourselves there, Isaiah.
Well, at the end of a half, Wayne
I said
Hills
if they keep playing this way.
certainly in good position to try and pull an upset. 31-26, Patterson Kennedy over Wayne Hills. We will be back for the second half action.
This broadcast is brought to you in part by Positano Pizza, the finest Italian cuisine and pizzeria. Show us your Wayne Hills student ID to get 2 slices of pizza or a bowl of pasta, plus a drink for only $5.
Welcome back to the Gifford Gymnasium, where at the end of a half, Patterson Kennedy is up by 5, 31-26 over Wayne Hills. Let's take a look at some leading scorers, guys, just before we start the second half action on Wayne Hills' side. Philip Park leading the way, 4 threes in that first half. He's got 12. Brett Wood with 6 points, 2 threes for him, and Carter Lewis with 6 as well. And for Patterson Kennedy, the leading scorer, Mark Eber, having a fantastic game here so far through a half, has 18 points, has already eclipsed his scoring average of 15.5. And then Kyle Reedus with 2 for Patterson Kennedy, and Jalen Hargrove also with 2. So, like I mentioned, Knights up 31-26, but Wayne Hills played a very impressive first half and have hung in there, guys, only down 5 at the break.
Wayne Hills hung in there the whole first half. We saw the scores of some of these Kennedy games: 96-51 against Passaic, 86-37 against Passaic Valley. They beat the 12th ranked team in the state, West Morris, in a close one. Only loss was to Don Bosco and out-of-state Chester, Pennsylvania. And we just didn't think this one would be close. And Wayne Hills, all credit to them for playing their hearts off in that first half. And let's just hope it continues.
The Patriots coming out here with smiles, and they're laughing, and they're having fun. That's something you want to see. That's a good sign for the Patriots.
That's the first time we've seen that in a while.
Yeah.
It's just been a dejected team.
Now to get serious as the game begins.
Quickly, an aggressive double out of the zone by Park and Adamo, and then the shot by Hargrove is denied by Conturso from behind.
Yeah, Conturso getting that's your key guy, Jack.
An impressive block from John Conturso there, blocking Hargrove from behind, and now Wayne Hills on the other end. Wood slips 3, his win 3 goes, and Wayne Hills is only down by 2.
Look at the Patriots, some life in them. This is the most life we've seen in a while. And they know they're still in this game, and that's why they're so happy.
Just over 30 seconds gone by here in the third quarter. The bench into it, the crowd into it. Wayne Hills is playing their best game of the season so far here in the Gifford Gymnasium. Heber, his 3 is short. Hargrove the rebound, pound dribble, and he goes right back up. And again, I mean, even Lewis, who's 6'5", a little bit over 200 pounds, just no match for Hargrove down low.
I said these Patriots are filling it from deep range, unlike Kennedy.
Adamo able to recover. He lost the dribble. Now Park with the floater in the lane is good. Park had 12 points in that first half, and he cuts it back to 2, 33-31 Kennedy.
I'm never shocked when I see a scrum going on and I see someone run out of the pile with it, and it's always James Adamo that has the ball somehow. He's always in the midst of the action.
Here's Bridge up top, harassed by Adamo.
Everyone on this Patriots team is doing something right, and that's why they're very successful right now.
Harrison on the far wing. A minute and a half gone by now here in the third. Spinning baseline, it's Bridge, and the ball's knocked away. Park recovers for the Patriots. So Wayne Hills with a chance to tie it or take the lead. Nearly a double dribble on Adamo, and then Park was looking for Tony Adamo. He wasn't looking. Now down the other end is Bridge, and his shot is denied by Lewis.
You know what this reminds me of, guys? football season when we were playing Ramapo, and everyone was saying that we had no chance in that game. And we ended up losing the game, but it took it to overtime. They were the third-ranked team in the state, and we just went into it and played. We didn't think about the score or any of that. We just played as hard as we could.
That was definitely one of my favorite games commentating for football, and it was an exciting one the whole time.
Harrison in the corner. He hits a big three for Kennedy, and they go back up by 5. They needed that one. 36-31 Knights with 5:50 to go. Here's Adamo to the other way, and his pass out of the reach of Tinturso. So a 3 by the Knights, and then a turnover for the Patriots, and the momentum has suddenly and pretty sharply shifted.
On the broadcast, take a look at Conturso standing next to Hargrove. Conturso's usually a big guy against other teams. He's a big, broad guy. Just look at him standing next to Hargrove. Hargrove makes him look small.
In the corner, here's Reedus. To the middle now. Here is Hargrove. Pound dribble. His shot no good. Offensive rebound. And he flips it back up and in with the right hand. I mean, not a lot you can do down there against him.
He makes everyone look small down there. Just absolute monster in the middle.
Wayne Hills down 7 now. They had it cut to 2 at one point off the push shot in the lane by Park. And 5 straight points for Patterson Kennedy. They're up by 7. Like I mentioned, 38-31. Adamo kick to the corner. Wood another 3. That's one too strong. Tinturso had the offensive rebound, but it was knocked away. Quickly in transition, now comes Heber, and Wood was behind him. Both guys going down pretty hard, and this is a scary scene.
They both seem to be okay, just a little shaken up.
And that's what I like to see, diving for the ball. You can tell that they really want to win this game. They really want to show out tonight, especially from that loss from Pope John.
Wood and Heber were quickly going in transition. Both of them fell, but like we mentioned, guys, both of them getting back up rather quickly, and they seem to be okay. So here's Harrison now to inbound on the baseline for the Knights.
Yeah,
Heber upset that he ripped his shooting sleeve a little bit.
Brett was laughing that one off, so he's definitely good.
Quick turnover by the Knights, and here comes Wayne Hills looking for that offensive spark that they began the half with. A Wood 3, and then the shot by Park had it once again cut to 2 at one point. Adamo, Tinturso, pound dribble. It was knocked away, and it was nearly ripped away again by Heber, but a foul. Got too much of Tinturso's arm, and a foul on Kennedy. Wayne Hills to inbound.
That's where I think Conturso needs to work a little bit on his decision-making. He's certainly a solid player in the post, but there he had the ball. He didn't really know what to do with it, and he tried to make a spin move. He had another shot, spun back into it, and then he ended up getting a foul out of it, but kind of got stuck down low there.
Tinturso at the line for 2 shots. My apologies. I said they were inbounding, so Tinturso missing the first long. Lewis out. Macaran is in for Wayne Hills. Tinturso trying to cut the lead to 6 with 4:48 to go in the third quarter. Tinturso missing both. 2 costly misses from Tinturso there, and Wayne Hills remains down 7. Heber up ahead of the pack. He can't finish, but he's fouled, and Mark Heber will go to the line for the Knights.
These are pretty much almost automatic makes from Heber, just an outstanding shooter for the Knights.
Heber's first is up and good. So with 4:42, Kennedy up by 8. And back to the line for another is the senior Heber. And his second is also up and good. So like you said, Jack, almost
Largest lead of the
automatic.
night now.
Yeah, Kennedy up by 9, 40-31. Wayne Hills needing an answer here. Not trying to let Kennedy run away with it. You mentioned Kennedy, a tendency to blow teams out. So Wayne Hills has to keep it close here. Last touch on Harrison along the baseline, fighting for the rebound, and Wayne Hills will inbound. And before that inbound, a timeout by Coach Starcich. His team down by the largest deficit of the night, down 9, 40-31. Patterson Kennedy with 4.5 to go here in the third.
Just going back to the composure of Kennedy, they're just such a calm team all around. Wayne Hills cut the lead to 2, and they seemed to have all the momentum. The bench was getting loud, the crowd was getting into it. The players were smiling, they were getting into it. And the Kennedy bench just sits there calm, unfazed. And even in the huddle, just look at their body language, just completely unfazed. Just a very calm team, experienced team, and they certainly know what they're doing.
Yeah, that's a good point, Jack. Definitely a calm team. Now you say, I noticed that. And they're just, look how the way they break the huddle. They're just walking. They're very calm.
And a very, very well-coached team by Tommy Patterson from the Patterson Knights. So maybe the perfect job for him. Patterson coaching Patterson Kennedy.
So out of the timeout, it'll be interesting to see what set Coach Starcich draws up here off the inbound. We mentioned multiple times Wayne Hills had it at 2 here just a couple of minutes ago. It was 33-31, but a 7-0 run by JFK has pushed this up to 9 now.
Well, to win these games, you're not going to go through the whole thing without some adversity. And if you want to win, you're going to be down at certain points. Got to fight back.
Adamo, tough shot in the lane off the inbound pass from Park. No good. Offensive rebound to Terso. Woods' three is way short. Caught a lot of air. And here comes Harrison the other way now for Patterson Kennedy. Bridge with the left hand plus a foul. And here comes Patterson Kennedy up double digits now for the first time tonight. 42-31 Knights.
And pretty much that whole first half, we were kind of holding our breaths, waiting for that run, not trying to talk too soon. And it looks like the run here from Kennedy is finally here now, and it looks like they might just blow this one open.
Bridges' free throw no good, too strong. Tenturso has the rebound. Macarenas in transition, cross toward Adamo. Nice hesitation move, and he throws it away. And now Bridge on the other end, nearly deading up and slamming it down. Able to rise up above the rim and lay it in. So 44-31 Kennedy now. Macarenas the other way, trying to quickly answer, and another turnover. Just an ill-advised pass by the sophomore. Here comes Kennedy now up 13, and they're, like you said, they're kind of running away with it. But now Tenturso with another bid block on Bridge, who was going up, and Wayne Hills, again, trying to just get some life back into him as you hear Wood and Tenturso saying, let's go.
I've been very impressed with the passing and the ball handling from Kennedy. We saw those two almost highlight reel plays in the first half, the spin and the one that sent Lewis flying.
Hardgrove with the left hand, and again, the sheer size down low is almost unstoppable, and he puts the Knights up by 15, 46-31 Patterson Kennedy with 3:35 to go here in the third.
Patriots have to be careful. They're killing themselves with these turnovers. They're playing so well, but these turnovers are just killing them.
A 13-0 run from Patterson Kennedy. Wayne Hill's trying to get something offensively. Tenturso at the foul line against Hardgrove. Couple of dribbles, kick out, Park a three. That's short. And Bridge had the rebound. Adamo slams it against the ground. It goes to Macarenas, and his shot off glass is no good, but a foul.
In case you guys were, they called that a charge.
Oh, wow, an offensive foul on Macarenas.
In case you guys were wondering, Phil Park is human. He did miss a shot there.
So an offensive foul on Macarenas sends it the other way, and he checks out. A couple of bad turnovers by Macarenas, and then the offensive foul there. So Carter Lewis back in for Wayne Hills.
And this is where the good teams separate from the average teams. Kennedy just doesn't make mistakes, and the Patriots have a couple mistakes here and there, and Kennedy just takes full control of them.
They want Hardgrove in the post again. You see, he just gets that position so easily. So strong, and again, the size down low, just very hard for even a guy like Tenturso to stop. Does a good job denying the entry pass there. Does Tenturso. Here's Heber going behind his back, somehow finds Hardgrove. A couple of steps in the lane.
Foot.
Now here's Bridge, a pull-up mid-range jumper. It rolls off the rim, and Lewis has the rebound. So that's a good defensive possession from Wayne Hills. But with under 2.5 minutes to go, they've got to get something going offensively. We saw it to begin the half, but they've slowed down. Again, 13-0 run from Patterson Kennedy. And now here's Tenturso, jumper from beyond the foul line off glass, and they cut it back to 13.
The bank is open.
Tenturso having himself a gain, rebounds, blocks, and now he gets that nice jumper.
Yeah, Tenturso having his second straight, pretty good game here through nearly 3 quarters. He's doing a good job on Hardgrove down low, as good as a job as he possibly can as they work it into Hardgrove right on cue. He throws it up off glass and scores again. And it's back to 15, 48-33 Patterson Kennedy with 1:45 to go here in the third. Adamo to a wide open Lewis. His shot off glass goes. And both teams exchanging buckets here as we near a minute and a half to go in the third quarter. 48-35 Patterson Kennedy. Wayne Franklin up off the bench for the first time for Wayne Hills. Harrison along the left side of the lane is fouled by Tenturso, and the senior will go to the line for 2 shots. And now for Wayne Hills, here comes Wayne Franklin. Or rather, they'll sub in after the first free throw. Moore and Carnegie set to check in for Patterson Kennedy. Bertwan Moore and Jamali Carnegie. Harrison's first shot rims out, and here comes 3 subs now. Carnegie, Moore, and Romero for Patterson Kennedy. Mansoroglu and Franklin in for Wayne Hills.
Now, Mansoroglu's probably going to have to be the center on defense unless they have Lewis there, and it's going to be interesting to watch him try to go up against Hargrove.
Second shot from Harrison is up and good.
Hargrove was taken out in that last substitution. So probably a bit of a chess move from Coach Karstich there. Seeing Hargrove taken out, take Conturso out. Give him a rest when Hargrove's not in. I think Conturso is really just the competition they have for Hargrove.
Park trying a deep three. It goes again. His 5th 3 in the game. Philip Park has 17 rather. And with a minute of the way to go, Wayne Hills has cut it back to 11. And here comes the life again from the bench. Trying to cut it to maybe under double digits here entering the 4th.
Like I said, PV Park is in the building.
Romero into the middle. Jumper. Mid-range pull-up. Carnegie. No good. Franklin the rebound. Here comes the sophomore. Into a little bit of traffic. Hits to the corner for Mansorodlu. Now back up top, Franklin. Park thinking about another 3. He's going to pull one. Oh, and he nearly hits it. It was a little short off the front of the rim. Fight for the rebound. Moore ripping it away from Lewis and Mansorodlu, but they forced the jump ball. Good job by the senior and the sophomore to force the jump, and Wayne Hills retains possession. With 35.7 to go here in the 3rd. Looking to cut it to under double digits entering the 4th. Flip up top, Lewis. Here's a big 3, and he hits it. Wayne Hills, I mean, what more can you say? They've been, on fire from behind the three-point line all night. And it's cut to 8, 49-41.
That's really the only thing that's been keeping them in the game. Without the threes, they would be not in a good place right now. Wayne Hills, I would say, has over 3/4 of their points with 3-pointers.
You saw to end the second. Harrison, a heart-crushing move there, a spin move into the lane. Let's see if Wayne Hills can come up with a stop here to end the 3rd. 5 seconds to go. Romero, kick to the corner. Carnegie up top, and
he lost the contact.
I just gotta say, the Patriots, this is their best game that they shot from the outside.
Heber, like you said, losing a contact, it looks like, in his right eye. So Coach Patterson not happy. He wanted Carnegie to pull it, but he saw Heber open at the top of the tee, and now he'll quickly run back, looks like, to the locker room just to put it back in. So Park to inbound now here along the near side. Flip. Park a deep 3 off the flip from Mansorodlu. Park flipping it up there from beyond 30 feet, but it's short. Wayne Hills, the 3-point shooting, like we mentioned, is keeping them in this game, only down by 8. 49-41, Patterson Kennedy at the end of 3. And, I mean, again, the 3-point shooting has been superb from Wayne Hills all night, and this is really the first time we've been able to say that.
Wayne Hills is going to have to play the best quarter we've seen them play all season if they want to pull this monumental upset over Kennedy.
They've definitely shot so well. This is, I think, the best game they shot the whole season, especially from 3.
And Kennedy has done a great job on defense everywhere else except the perimeter. They've only allowed 41 points. Wayne Hills is just struggling from everywhere else except the 3-point arc. And then Kennedy kind of an off game. We've seen them score in the 90s, in the 80s. It's almost a daily thing for them. And only 49 points going into the 4th. They're still winning, and a win is a win. And even if they squeak this one out, they'll still be 16th in the state. But Wayne Hills is going to have to play the best quarter they've played all season, pretty much flawless if they want to win this game.
Well, Wayne Hills, we mentioned, coming off a tough loss to a team they should have beat yesterday afternoon, is playing their best game of the season so far, only down by 8 as we begin the 4th.
And Heber and Hargrove both on the bench to start this quarter for Kennedy, so Wayne Hills needs to take advantage of that.
Yeah, like you said, Kennedy's maybe their 2 best players in Hargrove and Heber resting on the bench to begin the 4th. So Wayne Hills going to have to continue to be hot from 3-point range, and they need some stops on the defensive end if they want to hang around in this one. They have so far. Once again, only down by 8. And a quick turnover here, thrown away by Romero, and Park picks it off. Quick double team in the back. Wayne Hills has got to get to the cross. Macarenas to the corner for Franklin. To the middle for Tinturso.
Oh, my
goodness. And he walks again. Tinturso's got to be careful. He's kind of making that move, in his head before he really makes it, and he takes too many steps again before taking a dribble.
That's exactly the plays we've seen all year from him. He just kind of gets flustered with it, and he doesn't really know what to do with it. He has good moves when he gets him down, but sometimes he just hurries his steps.
Wayne Hills still down 8, 49-41. Carnegie spinning, and here comes the double out of that zone. They like to trap on those wins against those bitter guys like Carnegie, who maybe aren't such great ball handlers, but now here's Carnegie on the offensive glass for Kennedy. Bridge, kick to the corner. Harrison for 3, no good. And here's Moore Stein for a rebound. Down low, Romero, his shot no good. Another rebound by Moore. Another rebound by Moore. And now he throws it off glass. And Moore, just like Hargrove, I mean, he's taller than Hargrove. He's about 6'5", and he's got hops. I mean, crazy hops. 3 or 4 offensive rebounds of his own. And Braquan Moore at the line now for 2 shots.
He might even be 6'6". Looks like he's got a little height over Carter Lewis.
Moore on the first. His shot up and good. So Patterson Kennedy up 9 once again, 50-41 with 6:55 to go here in the fourth. Moore. Oh, a clean stroke from the big fella on both. That's refreshing to see from a guy of his size, 6'6", knocking down both.
Big men can shoot.
So Patterson Kennedy up by 10, and now a quick turnover from Macarenas, another one, and Romero finishes with the right hand. And the frustration again setting in, and the Kennedy bench is fired up. The Knights are up 12 now, 53-41 with 6:44 to go. Hasn't
been Andre Macarenas' night at all. He's had a very sloppy game.
Just got to cut the turnovers. Many turnovers in this game, and there's always a turnover in every game, but this one, they can't let this happen, especially when they're this close against a Kennedy team like this.
So the Patriots probably need to keep this one in single digits for as long as possible. I would say by about 3 or 4 minutes to go, you want to have this one near 8, I would say, if you want any chance to win this game.
Again, out of the timeout, it's always interesting to see what Wayne Hill's team will come out. I mean, they're down 12 after beginning the fourth quarter on a high note, but again, are they going to come out and look a little deflated, which, again, they would have a right to do against such a tough team down double digits. It's not easy to try and come back, but we've seen at times this team can be very resilient. Franklin, a deep 3, ill-advised shot from the sophomore, but an offensive rebound, luckily for Wayne Hills by Tinturso, and now Franklin with a much more needed shot for Wayne Hills. He goes right to the bucket and is fouled, and he'll go to the line for 2 shots.
Franklin, as you mentioned, a mystery player for us. We've seen him shoot well in warm-ups, but we haven't really seen him do that much in the game, and we certainly know he's capable of it, and he'll continue to grow under this system. A new player this year. Can't wait to see what he does in the coming years.
Well, we had that big game against Lakeland about a month or so ago, so Franklin has had his moments, and as he knocks down the second free throw, like you mentioned, good offensive player, can score at all 3 levels, and a really good outside shooter, but again, his playing time is trying to diminish as the season's gone along, but playing big minutes here as he touched the lead to 11 again, 53-42, Patterson Kennedy with 6:16 to go now in the final quarter. Bridge up top against Adamo. And another interesting dynamic now will play here in the fourth quarter. How much time can Kennedy waste on the offensive end? They take a quick shot there from the wing, a 3 by Carnegie, and now he jumps the pass and finished off by Bridge off glass with the right hand. And Wayne Hill's just not helping themselves out here in the fourth, playing a little sloppy.
I'd say over the whole season, Wayne Hill's points in transition might just be, and as they M1 from Ville Park, over the whole season, we've barely seen them score in transition, and it seems like they give up so many baskets in transition. And I'd say over the last 10 or so games, they might not even have over 10 points in transition. That's how lacking they are in that department.
So Park trying to complete a 3-point play, and he does. So Park continued his big scoring night, and he touched it to 10. 55-45 Patterson Kennedy with 5:43 to go. Harrison nearly losing it, but he's somehow able to save it. Another near turnover for the Knights. Carnegie comes away with it now, and again, Bridge is open down low, and he scores.
And they're doing this all without Heber and Hargrove in.
Franklin is fouled going between his legs. Another foul on Patterson Kennedy, their 4th of the half. And here comes Hargrove back in. He'll sub out Moore, so doesn't get any easier with Moore. With about 6'6" and 30-inch vertical, you sub in Hargrove, who's been dominant down low all night. So 5:22 to go here in the final quarter. Wayne Hill's down 12. Needing a late push, and that's not going to help. Park with a turnover. He was looking for a cutting Lewis. Now on the other end, Harrison for a 3. No good. Romero, the offensive rebound. His shot was blocked by Lewis. They want a clean block, and it may have looked like a clean block, but they'll get a foul on Carter Lewis, and it'll send Jesus Romero to the line for 2 more shots.
Wayne Hills has done everything they can, but Kennedy's just asserting their dominance in the rebounding department. And Wayne Hills did pretty good early on in the game, but as the last 2 quarters have played out, Kennedy's just controlling the offensive boards.
Romero hits the first, and here comes Heber.
The Patriots No, they're kind of lucky that Kennedy hasn't shot well from the outside. And they have to take advantage right now because if they don't, then, of course, they'll lose.
Romero's second is short off the front of the rim. Rebound Tinturso. Franklin coming the other way for Wayne Hills to the middle for Tinturso. Kick to the wing for Park. Drive, kick out. Lewis a corner three, and he knocks it down. And it's back to 10 once again. 58-48 with 4:48 to go.
Kennedy, a well-coached team. I assume they're going to try to burn as much clock as possible over these last 5 minutes.
In the corner, Heber gets a good look on a three. No good, but
my.
Carnegie skies for the rebound, and he puts it back up and in with the right hand. And you see just the athleticism as well for Kennedy playing into their advantage as Carnegie skying for the putback there, and they go back up by 12. Does the Knights. Lewis pump fed to get Heber in the air. His three is way too strong. Fight for the rebound with Adamo and Heber, and the possession arrow off the jump ball. Oh, no, they did a foul on James Adamo, not even a jump ball. So Heber got fouled, or no, Carnegie got fouled, and now we'll go to the line for 2 shots. So a little bit of a questionable call there from the ref, but it'll send Carnegie to the line for a 1-and-1.
And on that last play, Lewis trying to get a little revenge on Heber for what he did to him earlier in the game. And he got Heber in the air, but he just couldn't connect on the shot.
So a 1-and-1 now here for Jamali Carnegie at the line. And his first is no good. And Tinturso has the rebound. 60-48. The Knights of Patterson Kennedy are up 12. Adamo near turnover. A turnover recovered by Tinturso.
I think John's got to shoot those.
Kick to the win. Adamo for 3. His shot no good. Lewis battles for the offensive rebound, but couldn't handle it. And Kennedy will come the other way with it. A tick over the halfway point to go here in the fourth. 4:01 to go in the final quarter of play, and Patterson Kennedy is up 60-48. Timeout, Wayne Hills.
And college basketball fans, this would be the under 4 timeout almost, as we 4:01 left to go in the game, where pretty much the game is decided. It gets crucial and critical in this stretch. Wayne Hills down 12, and they're going to have to play pretty much a perfect 4 minutes, and the perfect storm of events going to have to come together if they want to win this one.
I mean, they've played so well, but it's just the turnovers, like I said. We said all the time, those kill the Patriots, and they get some turnovers for themselves if they want to keep it close.
Yeah, a hard-fought game for the Patriots, but they a little lacking in the rebounds and some shots not falling, not taking full advantage of opportunities when you get them, sloppy turnovers every now and then, just things you can't do against elite teams like Kennedy, and Kennedy is an elite team.
Well, I mean, in that Pope John game in the third quarter, James Adamo took over with the major steals for the Patriots, which got them back in the game. So I can definitely see, something like that happening. But they're going to have to act quick.
Yeah, like you said, they're going to have to kind of do it, in a timely manner. And like you said, Jack, I mean, it's going to have to pretty much be flawless basketball through the final 4:01 here for Wayne Hills if they want to come away with a huge upset here in the Gifford. But again, you mentioned Kennedy, such a good team. Wayne Hills has played them tough. They're probably their best game all season, but again, just goes to show you Kennedy's still up 12. Just how talented the Knights are. The number 1 seed in the Passaic County tournament. We mentioned they beat PV over the weekend, and they will host Passaic in the semifinal round on Saturday. So looking to repeat as Passaic County champions are the Knights.
And they also blew out Passaic twice already this season. Passaic beating Wayne Valley in that one. So the 4 teams left are Kennedy, Passaic, Patterson Eastside, and Patterson Charter.
3 teams from Patterson competing for a county championship. How do you like that? Here's Lewis at the top of the tee for 3, and he hits it. And it's cut to 9 with 3:25 to go. 60-51. Patterson Kennedy still on top.
And Kennedy's also the 1 seed in Group 4, correct?
Yes, I believe so. They are the number 1 seed in the North 1 Group 4 state playoffs, the sectional playoffs. In Wayne Hills' Group 3, it's Sparta at the top, the number 1 seed, as the shot by Romero no good. Tinturso with the rebound. Under 3 minutes to go here. Patriots down 9. To the middle. Lewis, pound dribble. Off glass, his shot no good. Tinturso trying to rip away the rebound. Fight on the ground for it. And they call a timeout. So looked like someone on the floor called a timeout for Wayne Hills. It might have been Tinturso, but Smart move there, as with 2:48, Patriots down 9, and Conturso rolling on his bat. They might have gotten to travel on him.
And it's only a 3-possession game if you think about it. And the way Wayne Hills has been shooting the 3-ball, 3 possessions is all you need. Just 3 3-pointers, and this is a tie game. But then you have the tall task of trying to guard Jalen Hargrove and
That's true.
Heber and everyone on this Kennedy team. They can all do it. This is a very well-rounded team, very athletic guys. They play as a team. We're just so impressed by the level that this team is at. All credit to Tommy Patterson, the coach. Just an amazing team, and it's just fun to watch.
Like you said, Jack, they have a chance. And like you said, they've been shooting pretty well tonight. And it's not just one guy. It's Carter. It's Phillip. It's Adamo has a couple of threes. Brett. So they can pass to anyone that's open. They have a shot.
I think this game is going to be won on the defensive end, and maybe some luck if it gets down to foul shots. Kennedy, a team that really doesn't miss.
Off the inbound, it's Part to Conturso. Flip to Part in the corner. Now up top to Adamo. Wayne Hills has got to work quickly here. 2:40 to go. Still down by 9. They're looking for that post look for Lewis against Carnegie. Has a little bit of a height advantage. Pick and roll now with Park. Up top, Adamo.
Conturso's wide open.
To the middle for Conturso. Pound dribble to Lewis on a pull-up jumper from the mid-range. One bounce off the rim and it goes. Wayne Hills has it at 7 now with 2:18 to go here in the final quarter. Here comes the defensive pressure for Wayne Hills. They've got to force some turnovers here.
They're going to hold this for as long as possible.
As we've talked about, Kennedy is going to try and burn as much time as humanly possible here in the final 2:09. Timeout Kennedy with 2:09 to go. Knights up 7, 60 to 53, but Wayne Hills, again, they're hanging in this one late, guys.
This is where maybe you'd like to see some rule changes in high school basketball. Just it makes it almost less interesting in the final stretch, because if you're down by more than 4 points, you just really have no chance of winning, because the other team is going to hold the ball as long as possible, and you're forced to foul.
Yeah, I mean, even if you implement the college shot clock, it doesn't even have to be 24 seconds. You can make it 30 seconds. I mean, that's still – I mean, then Kennedy's going to get 4 30-second possessions out of this, and they can hold the ball for as long as possible, like you mentioned, and just burn clock. But again, it's up to Wayne Hills to try and force some turnovers here late if they want a chance to climb back into this one. They're down 7, 60 to 53 Knights, as now we have under 2 minutes to go here in the final quarter. They're trying to run Kennedy off the line, but again, they've got to be, aiming for some turnovers here.
I really don't think they have any intention of shooting this.
Yeah, Hebert just kind of back and forth between the wings, and now Bridge at the top. Is Wayne Hills going to try and foul? Oh, they nearly forced a backcourt violation. Now they nearly forced a turnover.
Now you got to foul.
Harrison underneath. Carnegie shot no good, and they do force a turnover.
Well, they did force a turnover, but it took up a whole minute on the clock.
Park racing up the floor and finishing with the right hand. Park continues his huge night. It's a 5-point game.
They need to foul. If this one hits 45 seconds, you got to just foul.
And now a foul on Adamo. Bridge spinning away. So Jaquan Bridge to the line for a 1-and-1. And Wayne Hills, 72 seconds to go. It's a 5-point game. 60 to 55. Kennedy.
Win or loss, a great effort from Wayne Hills tonight.
I agree. Everyone had something going on. Phillip, Brett, John, Carter, Adamo, everyone.
The first is up and good from Bridge. So Jaquan Bridge trying to hit 2 and put Kennedy back up by 7. His second is up and good. So 2 big shots there from Bridge. So Kennedy back up by 7. We'll see what Wayne Hills will do here on the offensive end.
Give it a part.
Yeah, he's had the big night. 20-plus points for the junior. He nearly throws it away. Adamo looking for Lewis. His pass too strong. They're working up top to Part. He's got to put up a deep 3, a step-back 3 off the side of the backboard. Up ahead for Harrison. Wood elects not to foul, and Harrison lays it in. And, yeah, under a minute to go here, only 44 seconds, and that should just about do it. Part, his shot takes a bounce off the back of the rim and drops in. 35 seconds to go. Wayne Hill's not giving up yet. They're still down 7, 33.4 now. Bridge has fouled again.
What an amazing effort from the Patriots. It looks like they're ultimately going to end up losing this one. But Kennedy is the best team that they're going to face for the rest of the year, even in the whole state tournament. There's not any teams, even if you look at the whole bracket, all of Group 3, I don't think any teams are as talented as Kennedy is. So it's just, coming the state tournament, it's just whatever Wayne Hill's team we get. It's just a very inconsistent team. And if they play like this, I really don't see who they can't beat.
Yeah, you said it, Jack. I couldn't have said it better myself. You said it all. This team is just inconsistent, but at times they can get really good against this good Kennedy team.
Also, if you look at these last 2 games, it really sums up the Wayne Hill season. Just a terrible performance against a team that's really not good in Pope John, a 3-16 team. They lost to them. And then just a great performance against this Kennedy team, and probably only a single-digit loss right now.
Conterso out. Chester Macarinis in for Wayne Hills. They lob it up top to Hargrove, and it's knocked away. And Adamo was fouled. Wayne Hills down 8, 65-57, 27.6. The 6th foul on Kennedy. So not yet in the bonus. Adamo will inbound for Wayne Hills. And again, not really much you can do. All you can really hope for is a quick 3 here if you're the Patriots. Park trying to go as quick as he can. He lays another one up and in with the right hand off glass. And Kennedy taking their time inbounding. Park handing the ball to Bridge there, making sure the 8 seconds start coming off the clock. And they do inbound it. They get it to Carnegie. And he will go to the line now for 2 shots, I believe.
So, game pretty much over. Wayne Hills needs a miss here, a quick 3. Foul again, another miss and a quick 3. That's really their only chance left in this game. Probably not going to happen. But a good effort from the Patriots, and let's just hope this is the kind of performance we get in the state tournament. We don't see the team that showed up against Passaic Valley, that showed up against West Milford, that was a slow game too, or against Pope John.
Wayne Hills will be at Ramapo on March 2nd to begin the North 1 Group 3 sectional tournament. And earlier in the year, a game we didn't cover, the General Bells Jubilee, the holiday tournament around Christmas time. Wayne Hills losing on a back-to-back, actually, to Ramapo, 54-42, I believe, and only a 12-point loss to the number 2 seed in the state tournament is certainly nothing to be ashamed of. Let's look at Heber. The handle going behind his back through his legs. He will dribble out the clock, but again, a performance that Wayne Hills should walk out of here with their heads high about. A 7-point loss, but one that they played exceptionally in. 66-59 the final. Patterson Kennedy over Wayne Hills.
Great game from the Patriots. The best team they're going to face all year. And they won't see any teams like that in the state tournament. And, guys, it's just a puzzle to us. We really just can't figure it out. It's an enigma. What Wayne Hills team are we going to get each night? Is it going to be this team, the team that showed up against Paramus Catholic? Or is it going to be the team that played against Lakeland and Pope John? And come the state tournament, it has to be this team, if not even better. And let's hope we see those Patriots when they have to play Ramapo on March 2nd.
Well, the Patriots, even though they're on a 2-game losing streak, it's nothing to be upset about because they kept it competitive the whole game. Everyone had a pretty good game. James Adamo getting a couple of threes, getting a few steals, a couple of rebounds. My key player, your key player, Jack, John Conterso, getting many rebounds, blocks, points. There's one thing we haven't seen from John Conterso is him taking it to the rim. That's something that we would love to see him do because everyone else on this team can do that. And as well, can't forget about the 3-point shooting, the best that we've seen all season. And if they keep it up, they can definitely, do some damage in states.
Well, one more time here for the different gymnasium. 66-59, Patterson Kennedy taking it by 7. They move to 19-2 and 11-1 in the Mid-North. Wayne Hills dropping to 9-12 and 7-8 in conference play. Wayne Hills will be back in action on Thursday afternoon. They will take on Passaic Valley again in Passaic Valley in Little Falls at 4 o'clock. We will have that game for you. One more time, Aaron Hood, Jack Woodard, Isaiah Ahumada, Billy Busacca behind the camera, signing off for now. We will see you on Thursday.